The meeting will come to order. Everyone please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The borough has complied with the notice provisions of the Sunshine Law by adopting prior to January 10th of this year a resolution prescribing the dates, times, and locations of all regular meetings of the commission. This meeting is one of the meetings listed in said resolution, and copies of the resolution were by January 10th filed with the borough clerk.
I need a motion to file the following reports: municipal court, tax collector, and zoning. Sorry.
Second.
And a motion to file the minutes from the July and August meetings.
Make motion. Second.
Okay. We have a second reading of public hearing of ordinance 1813 to subdivide the property located at 627 Haddon Avenue. This is the public hearing. If anybody has any comment?
So real quick, this is the parking lot behind the Ocean First Bank. The borough will be holding on to half of it, or a sizable chunk of it for public parking. The rest of the lot will be going to the 9 condominiums and businesses that will be on the first floor. So this is just subdividing, so the borough can retain ownership and have public parking to replace the park that's lost, to create a private park. So that's what that is. This is your chance to put comment. Does anybody have questions about this? We all want you watching the game today. Understood. No, seeing as no public comment. Okay.
Representative Riley?
Yes.
Mayor Solano Ward?
Yes.
We have a second reading of public hearing of ordinance 1814, amending the Borough Code, Chapter 141-13, escrow fees.
This is not increasing what you pay when you have work done. You have to go to the planning board. This is just essentially cutting down on the paperwork for our staff to be getting back to you when your escrow account gets too low. So it's gonna be a higher sum at the beginning. You will be refunded if you do not use all of that in your case. And the fees are level with our neighbors, our neighboring municipalities. So this is just to save some back and forth time and some unexpected costs to our homeowners. You kind of know from having in business owners. Is there any comment on this or questions anybody has?
Commissioner Henderson Riley?
Yes.
Mayor Solano Ward?
Yes.
We have a second reading of public hearing of ordinance 1815, amending chapter 57, organization of police department.
Sure. This is amending the police personnel policies, allowing for facial hair. Yes.
Do we have?
No, that's just one. Over right. There's two of them. This is the one amending. Sorry. This was essentially we had in our borough code some places where the police chief answers to the director of public safety or the borough administrator, and there was just competing sections. So this is just cleaning up that so that the chain of command is more clear, and that's what this is doing. Okay. So any questions on that?
Is duplicative in the borough code, so
Yes.
trying to streamline.
No comment? Okay, Commissioner Henderson Riley?
Yeah.
And Mayor Solano Ward?
Yes.
We have the second reading of public hearing of ordinance 1816, amending the Borough Code, Chapter 167, flood damage prevention.
Right here, we're just essentially making sure that if you are going to build in a flood zone, you go through all the proper environmental studies. Because if you're building in a flood zone, there's a lot you need to consider, and this covers that, and potential builder, homeowner, et cetera, to make sure there's not any leak surprises for them. Any questions? This is the second reading we voted in. Comments?
Commissioner Henderson Riley,
Yes.
Mayor Solano Ward.
Yes.
Okay, second reading and public hearing of ordinance 1817 appropriating $625,000 from the sewer capital improvement fund for the purchase of a vacuum jetter.
Pretty clear, this is just replacing the machine to make sure that when there's clogged sewage drains, we can have a brand new machine to clean that up as quickly as possible. Any questions? Well, I love the slush, but.
Commissioner Henderson Riley,
Yeah,
Mayor Solano Ward.
yeah,
Okay, second reading and public hearing of ordinance 1818, commercial and education, for commercial and education filming in the borough of Collinsville.
since we just laid out some guidelines as to, if you want to be filming in Collingswood, this will put us on the register, get us a little bit more, just some more visibility, and so we can get some more things in our Stars Hollow of account. And just some rules and some procedures so that our borough staff can have time to accommodate and to make sure that, you know, we have officers, if we need to shut down streets, then we can have some time to make sure we've done all of our safeguarding for these things. Any questions?
Commissioner Henderson Riley,
Yeah.
Mayor Solano Ward.
Yeah,
We have the second reading and public hearing of ordinance 1819, adopting amendments to the rules and regulations of the Borough of Collinsville Police Department.
so this is allowing facial hair for our police department. So that's what that is. Any questions? Fellas in the back? In favor? Okay.
Commissioner Henderson Riley,
Yeah.
Mayor Solano Ward.
Yeah.
And we have the second reading and public hearing of ordinance, of bond ordinance 1820, authorizing the completion of the construction of the new water treatment facilities. And for the Borough of Collinsville appropriating a sum of $26,500,000.
This is because of PFAS, and as we explained before, there are things in our water treatment plant that are being covered right now, but structurally are not part of what our system can currently do. So we have safeguards in place at the moment, but it's not a long-term fix. And with the federal standards having changed, we now need to accommodate for those, and to be work done at the Roberts. Any questions?
Commissioner Henderson Riley,
Yes.
Mayor Solano Ward.
Yeah. All right,
Public comments on the resolutions?
any public comments on the 8 resolution, on the. Yes, okay, I know everyone here is here for some swearing in, so we're gonna open up public comments to the resolutions after we swear folks in. So we are going to start.
Okay, these are just yes votes.
Yeah.
We have appointed Derek Moeller as a full-time firefighter, EMT for the Collinsville Fire Department.
Yeah.
Appointing Javon Roman as full-time police officer for the Borough of Collinsville.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we also have a third, we have Derek, Javon, and Nicholas. Nicholas was the fire.
Derek Moore.
You might want to. So, everyone can see you, so if you want to come around and speak.
Repeat after me. I.
I, Derek Mullins,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the government
to the same, to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
as the NT firefighter for the Borough of Collins,
as the NT and firefighter for the Borough of Collinsville,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. So, yeah. Thank you.
All right, next up. Nicholas Reyna. All right. I
Nicholas Reyna,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same and to the government
to the same and the governments
established
established
in the United States and in this state,
in the United States and the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
as police officer
as police
for
officer
the Borough of Collinsville Police Department,
for the Borough of Collinsville Police Department,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
There's like there's a space that's.
Thank you.
Well, the thing on leave. Been long struggle. Oh, sorry. Devon Speed. I do solemnly swear
Sounds weird.
that I will support
Support
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the government established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties as police officer
as police officer
for the Borough of Collinsville Police Department, according to the best of my ability. Everyone who came to support these new swearing-ins, you are welcome to. You don't have to stay for the rest of the time. I understand. We've all got baseball. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
I will.
All right, so we do have a number of resolutions that we're gonna be going over today. This is the moment for public comment on any of those resolutions. Yeah, well, just so you can kind of get your thoughts together, we'll wait till they file out and say you get. All right. Any public comment on the resolutions at hand? Let's not yet. Oh. Do we want them to come up here closer to the owl? Sure. If you wouldn't mind coming up closer to the owl, that way people at home can hear your comment, your question. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Sure. Be careful, there's a lot there. I'm sorry? There's a lot.
Yeah.
You're good. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm good.
State your name and address for the record first.
Philip Welsh, 1015 Park Avenue, Collingswood.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the address.
1015 Park Avenue. So I was just going to speak on behalf of the resolution supporting ranked choice voting.
Oh, wonderful.
So keep it brief. Ranked choice voting gives voters more voice and more choice. Instead of being forced to pick just one candidate, voters can rank the candidates in order of preference. So if their top choice can't win, their vote automatically counts for the next choice. This simple change eliminates spoiler worries, encourages more civil and issue-focused campaigns, and ensures that winners have real majority support. 8 cities and towns in New Jersey have passed resolutions or ordinances in support of ranked choice voting, including Jersey City, Hoboken, and Princeton. This resolution only asks that in the event of state legislation allowing ranked choice voting is passed, that Collingswood would put this issue before the voters. Thank you.
That was a wonderful explanation of a bit of an explanation here, and thank you for that. Anyone else?
Wayne Rossi, 114 East Palmer Ave. I actually wanted to comment on a couple of different resolutions. I also think it's very good that there's a resolution supporting ranked choice voting. I think it's important, and I would hope to see it actually implemented throughout New Jersey. I have a question. The electric energy services, I didn't see if that had any renewable energy component. I think it's for things the borough is getting. I wanted to. Wasn't really clear in that. What the energy purchasing would be. Just says the South Jersey Power Cooperative Program.
Basically allows them during the law that allows to buy on lower energy prices.
Okay.
Do we know that on the things we have offered to buy in on, if those include renewable sources?
Typically they do. I can double check, because usually they are for renewable, that's like. For like for power. Getting all of it.
Okay, great. And the third thing I wanted to mention, I had spoken on this at the Board of Ed meeting. You have on here the recreation, but I actually didn't see it in the packet, anything specific about the recreation plan. But again, I want to say, I think that in Collingswood, obviously this building not being free for a lot of community groups, the need is very real, I think, and very strongly felt for having space where groups can meet. I felt that pretty strongly with my wife running a Girl Scout troop and seeing that there's nowhere in Collingswood to meet. So I think that that's a really critically important thing. And I know there was some back and forth last week at the Board of Education meeting. Unfortunately, Commissioner Malley isn't here to clarify on any, but he seemed to raise issues. I'd just like to make sure that the air is completely clear about how this program is going to proceed. Because I do think it's important, and I want to see it succeed.
So
Thank you.
We'll have a public meeting on the second meeting Monday, October 13th at 7 o'clock in the Concord Middle School auditorium and the theater, where we go for all the shows. And that'll be the first of 6 meetings. We do finally have the 6 meeting dates finalized. We'll be sharing those this week. There will be different nights of the week. There will be 2 options on the weekends. We're trying to make this as accessible as possible so that we can answer questions and we can let you submit your feedback on the details of the plan, which will be fully displayed on Monday. And again, if there are any details on Monday that are not shared, it's because those are things that are still malleable to be able to account for public feedback and public concern. The final adoption of the rec master plan, is majorly grammatical. It's, changing the spelling of names. We left out JEBs as a stakeholder group, even though they were stakeholder group, just some grammatical things, and that will be included in, we didn't have it back in time with the edit, but we'll have that included when we adopt the minutes for the, and then we will replace the draft that's online with that in the next couple of days.
And it's long,
It's 100 and some pages, yeah, so.
print copies. And, Mayor, will all of those meetings be live streamed? Some of them live streamed, at least the first live stream?
We're going to try to have as many of them live streamed as possible. We will not be we're gonna try to have one at the playground in Night Park. That one will not be live streamed, just for understandable reasons. And I believe this, BOE has a roundtable coming up next week. Your roundtable? It's the 22nd, the 18th. And I'm not sure that's gonna be live streamed because, those roundtables are usually not live streamed, but it's gonna be a smaller, environment. But there's gonna be different sizes depending on your comfort level, and we'll also be setting up 2 comment boxes in the library and in Borough Hall with like a stack of note cards. And you can ask your questions, submit your feedback. If you want an answer to your question, flip it over and leave your email address and we'll answer you directly. We want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to submit their feedback, share their thoughts, and those be considered for the shared service agreement and sign, et cetera. Oh, sorry, one comment. Would you mind coming in again? Thank you.
Okay, my name is Robin Brownfield. I live at 824 Eldridge Avenue in Collingswood. I am here to speak about, in support of ranked choice voting in this, in Collingswood, as I am running for New Jersey State Assembly as a Green Party candidate in this district. And one of the things that is often said is that third-party candidates and independent candidates are spoilers in elections. And ranked choice voting would eliminate the spoilers, the spoiler effect in elections. Even though statistically, there really have been very few spoilers in elections. This would eliminate it. Collingswood, I know, is very much in favor of promoting democracy and fighting the attacks on democracy that we're seeing right now in our country. And even though it's a small thing, allowing or making our elections here locally more democratic is a form of resistance against the anti-democratic forces that are taking hold of everything here. So I'm just weighing in favor of us having ranked choice voting in our local elections. Thank you.
That seems to be clear though. our resolution, we can't adopt, right? That's not in our power as commissioner. It's worth it, just to make clear how the process works for.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But it's ready to, you know, as a ballot question.
Yeah,
Definitely, we need to do that. I'm sure it would pass.
And with following other municipalities, this resolution mirrors that language that also signals to state and other leaders that should this come to pass, that would be, depending on how the vote goes, that we would be in support of it.
just want to make sure we do that process for people as well. That, you know, the state has
More steps.
right, several things to come, but we are, from the bottom, trying to make our voices heard, that this would be more inclusive and. Thank you. Any more comments? Yes, sir.
Good evening. Name is Craig Burgess. I live at 585 North Atlantic Avenue here in Collingswood. I'm also the current parish historian for Holy Trinity on Haddon Avenue in Fern. And I was just wondering if any final decisions have been reached. Have been reached in terms of knowing when the renovations of the Presbyterian Church will be completed and then applications available for individuals interested in getting residence at the new apartment complex.
Wonderful question. Last that we have heard that was supposed to be a late fall rollout. I have not heard back from the developers in the last, say, 6 weeks. When I met with them early September, late August, they were targeting sometime late October and or November. That's the latest we have, but that's something we can look into just so we can make that information more publicly available. And we'll make sure that once they've gone live, that we post that on our social media as a borough.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Kenny Sweeks, 22 Crestmont Terrace. A couple of months ago, I talked with Commissioner Anderson Riley about traffic safety. I had as an example, I had the underpass under Route 130 on Haddon Avenue, but there are more locations in town where the traffic safety is not great. But this is just one from my personal experience. Have you been talking about it? Is there a plan to address that? And when can we see something about that? I know it's complicated because Route 130 is a state road and Avenue is a county road, but still, I think it's the borough who should take the lead in that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we conducted workshops. Thank you for that question. We conducted workshops at all 5 of the elementary schools, at the middle school and at the high school. And the intersection that was just mentioned, you know, the 130 where Haddon passes under 130 was one of the sections that we looked at. We were there with engineers, with state, county, and looking at that intersection because it is an intersection of the state and county and borough road. We are awaiting that final report, which should be coming out late October, early November. Once we have that report, we'll have more information and can hopefully have some sort of an action plan for what we can do to make that especially, I mean, a lot of the intersections that have had issues are on that report and we walked them all. Our administrator, we had some of the police, some of the schools, and the engineers all walking, traffic engineers all walking together so they could see and walk together at pick up and drop off times. So they could see what it looks like for our kids when they're walking and for just people in general. When we were walking that 130, had another path, we had 3 or 4 bicycles past us. We had a stroller, we had multiple people on foot. So it's very apparent that it's used as a gateway and that it's not currently functioning for the safety of our pedestrians. So.
May I add just slightly? So in addition to those qualitative observations, I've also been in close contact with the police department, looking at the quantitative data across these intersections, how many accidents are occurring, what are the outcomes, and of course, taking into account near misses and those that are not reported. The key here, as the mayor mentioned, is that we're waiting on that report so that we can make an evidence-based decision based on what the engineers and others present to us as the governing body in order to then determine what the way is forward. But I really appreciate this. Several folks have come to office hours as well as have reached out via phone and email, and this is on our minds. It's critically important to safety. And so please know that we are planning to take action. We're waiting to see what that evidence is so that we can do so with data at some point. Thank you very much.
Any more comments, questions? Yeah.
Hello, Andrew Rorman, 143 Woodlawn Avenue in Collingswood. I just wanted to know if you can clarify at all with the proposed upgrades to the water treatment system. I understand that Collingswood Water Department also sources the water and provides it for Woodland and for a portion of Haddon Township. Is there any sort of cost sharing with this, or is this $26.5 million being footed just by Collingswood?
Pete?
I think I understood what he said. He's asking if the cost is gonna be distributed across the entire system, which would be the 3 towns.
Yes.
Yeah, so we look at it as one customer. Between the town.
It's fun, our ratepayers. So ratepayers are the users of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be across Woodland, West Conference section that. Anyone else?
The following resolution, appointing Kira Kennedy as a part-time library assistant.
Yes.
Reappointing Anita Chopin as deputy registrar for the Borough of Collingswood.
Yes.
Reappointing Jeffrey Joyce as emergency management coordinator for the Borough of Collingswood.
Yes.
And reappointing Jeffrey Joyce as fire official for the Borough of Collingswood.
Yes.
Reappointing Jessica Stokes as deputy emergency management coordinator.
Yes.
Authorizing an easement for egress and egress for a property located at 627 Haddon Avenue.
Yes.
Expression support for S1622/A4042 on ranked choice voting in the municipal and school board election.
Yes.
Authorizing a contract with Remington and Vernon for planning and design services for the Conley Avenue Water Treatment Plant, Hillcrest Water Treatment Plant, and the WQAA water main improvements.
Yes.
Approving electric energy services through South Jersey Power Corp.
Yes.
Authorizing to join the North Jersey wastewater cooperative pricing system.
Yes.
Authorizing to amend the Borough of Collingswood personnel policy.
We're gonna be tabling this to the November meeting, there's still some definitions that need to make that.
Authorizing to advertise for proposals for professional services. Authorizing to apply for a regional team grant application for the Resilient New Jersey Regional Assistance Program. Adopting recreation plan for the Borough of Collingswood. And then we have a discussion of the best practices. Required. We're required by the state to discuss the best practices inventory. It is a document that's prepared by our CFO. Don't know what our score was, Pasadena.
We scored fine.
Yes. Yeah, we usually are above the requirement. I have a copy of it here. I think we can post it on the website. If anybody's interested, in looking at it. No, it's just a discussion that we're required to have, that you reviewed it, that everyone looked it over. Okay, all right.
Discuss.
Okay, discuss, check. And then we have a resolution approving the payment of bills as presented by the treasurer.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
Sure. I have some comments, but before I go into my comments, I would like to recognize Sarah McClure, who is joining us tonight from Flow Forward, New Jersey. So Sarah, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the partnership.
Sure. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah McClure. I'm really excited to be here with you tonight. I am the co-founder and executive director of an organization called Flow Forward New Jersey. We are an organization dedicated to ending period poverty in New Jersey. If you're not familiar with the term, it describes the inadequate access to menstrual products as well as a lack of menstrual education and sanitary facilities. So we started this organization after I'd personally experienced period poverty while I was a student at Rowan University. And we've since become a nonprofit here in the state. And we have done educational programs, but our biggest program is definitely distributing menstrual products. I'll put this in terms, I know that talking about periods is not always comfortable for everyone because not everyone experiences them. So it may just be something that we don't really think about on a daily basis, but I'll kind of put it in terms that maybe everyone can understand. Imagine if toilet paper was not made available at municipal buildings or public buildings, or even in your workplace. You had to bring it in a bag, purse, or one day maybe you forget to stock it in your bag. You take a different bag, it doesn't have any. You go to the bathroom, there's no toilet paper, there's no dispenser, or if there is a dispenser, then you need to pay for the toilet paper. It may seem small, but over time it adds up. And if you're buying extra toilet paper, think of all the toilet paper you'd have to buy if you had to bring it everywhere with you. That's what people experience when they, need to use period products. They are not provided by any of the public assistance programs in the country. We recently had the state do a pilot program through the Work First New Jersey program, which is our temporary assistance for needy families here in the state. But it was 1 year, and now those people are left without money for period products. People facing food insecurity often face heightened period poverty. And this partnership with the Township of Collingswood is the first one that Flow Forward is offering here in the state. We're based in Voorhees, but we do work throughout South Jersey. I'm really excited that Amy had reached out with the intention of providing this in some of the buildings here in the township. Or are you sitting? I apologize. Sitting in the township? Yeah, in Collingswood. So yeah, we prepared some baskets, so you'll start to see those in some of the buildings here. And as we continue to observe the usage, we'll be able to restock them. We rely entirely on donations, so all products that are being used for these baskets are provided by generous members of our community. But yeah, I just really want to thank you guys for offering this resource to the members of Collingswood. It's really crucial, especially now more than ever, as we're seeing cuts to a lot of these public assistance programs. More and more people are going to struggle to pay out of their own pocket for food, but also for period products. I did actually run to the store to grab some more, and you'd be surprised, I got like 10 packages of period products that cost me like $110. So think of all of the people that are having to pay for that and may be disabled, may be elderly and haven't experienced menopause yet, or have a number of different conditions that cause them to get their period infrequently or more frequently. This is a real struggle for a lot of people. So I thank you guys for doing this again, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. We're really excited to be the first municipality to partner with Flow Forward New Jersey, and delighted that you can be here tonight to announce this partnership and that we will have these products in our municipal buildings across the library, Borough Hall, etc., and our senior community center. So very excited about this partnership. Some other events, I wanted to give a shout out just for all of the great events, particularly for our staff who worked tirelessly on a lot of things last month. The Book Festival, Porch Fest, Porch West, special shout out to Public Works as well as the Police Department. Really excellent events, so thank you, and also to all of the volunteers. We have several events coming up. I'd like to, in particular, highlight a flu shot event, a vaccine event that's happening in partnership with the county on Wednesday, October 22nd. That will be in the ballroom at the Scottish Rite from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is for anyone aged 12 and up, and there is no cost to attend. So please get vaccinated, come to the Scottish Rite that day. I was in touch today with some folks from the county health department, and they could use a few volunteers. So just to help with the event, a couple of extra folks around to help greet people, et cetera. So if you have time on Wednesday, October 22nd, reach out to me and I can help put you in touch. It would be great to have a couple of extra folks. Want to highlight, as I like to do at these meetings, some great things coming up at the library. There's some craft nights and SF classes. Please be sure to check out their calendar. I'd also like to highlight the upcoming Booze and Brews event, which is our October 2nd Saturday, which is this Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. on Powell Lane, and we'll be showing Hotel in Pennsylvania. And then Chief Joyce, I'd like to invite you to speak about the upcoming fire prevention event.
So this Thursday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we'll be hosting the fire prevention night open house at the Public Safety Building on Haddon Ave. It's a great opportunity to come out, meet your firefighters, see the trucks. We'll have some light refreshments, educational materials, and some entertainment for the little ones as well up there. So that's this Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Public Safety Building. Thanks.
Thank you. Also of note, in addition to all these other meetings, exciting things, on October 22nd will be the town forum, which is an opportunity to hear from and dialogue with our governing body here in town. That'll be at 7 o'clock in the Scottish Rite Ballroom. And then finally, in terms of my announcements, I wanted to just highlight a few holidays that are happening this month in October before we see you again. First coming up is Diwali. If you're not familiar, this is the Hindu festival of lights. So wanted to wish all of those celebrating happiness and joy. Wish everyone celebrating a happy Halloween. Please be careful and safe and have a wonderful Halloween. And then finally, next Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day. And I would like to acknowledge the Lenape people who originally inhabited the space where we are sitting now, to acknowledge their contributions as members of the community across our state, while also acknowledging the trauma and history that these populations have experienced. And I just want to formally and publicly commit my voice to a better way forward for all Indigenous people. Thank you.
So picking up, we have more events. The Collins Civic Collective has the Haunted Hurley Mansion Tour coming up on Friday, October 24th. Tickets are still available. Looks like the late night tickets are almost sold out. So if you really want to do it when it's like dark and spooky, I recommend you get on that. There will be the schools, the high school, middle school PTA will be hosting the Haunted Hayride. On the evening of October 18th, it will be behind the high school. This year, you have to buy your tickets ahead of time, and they are timed tickets. So I know it's a favorite of a lot of people, so make sure you buy your tickets ahead of time. And during the day, on the 18th, all of the PTAs will be having the fall festival in the park. We can also do a hayride, maybe a little less spooky for the younger crowd, or for adults who don't like spooky things, like me. We have the public meeting coming up on Monday, October 13th at the CNS Auditorium on the rec plan. We are hoping, as we have our town forum on the 22nd, we will touch on the rec master plan, but we have a lot of things to discuss. So we're hoping to kind of keep discussions for the rec master plan to the rec meetings. We'll address questions as they come, of course, in the town forum, but we have a lot to share, a lot to show, and we want to make sure we have time to do that with everyone. I would also like to recognize we are in the middle of Hispanic Heritage Month, which is September 15th to October 15th. Time to recognize and honor and celebrate the cultures and contributions of the Hispanic and Latino communities in America. Admittedly, we do not have any programming this year. It is a shortfall that we recognize and we plan to have fixed for 2026. In the meantime, if you would like to visit Sarah's or the Catrinas or Oasis, Bombastic or Kiko's or Dulce, or any other Hispanic or Latino owned businesses in town, that is a great way to support them. Even if I'm not, have to go bowling. You know, learn a couple words of Spanish. Lots of ways to celebrate amazing culture that clearly I have affinity for as I'm Colombian. Lastly, I continue to hold office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 12. Unfortunately, Thursday evenings have turned into a bit of a logistical nightmare personally, because I have Martin Reedy's PTA meeting once a month and things are popping up. So I'm hoping to move that to Monday, the 2 Mondays a month that I'm not either here or on the planning board. That will be in the town prior, that switch. I apologize if there's anybody who missed me, other Thursday evenings, trying to figure out how to do an evening, standing time has been logistically difficult for me. So I just want to make sure I hit something that people know where I'm going to be and that can stay the same for the next 4 years. So it's just like clockwork. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, 10 to 12 at Rural Hall, and information forthcoming, hopefully Monday evenings, the second and third Monday. So the first and fourth are planning and commissions. So at least we can kind of keep track of it all. Any other public comments that we missed?
Richard Klingman, 743 Maple Terrace. I would like to know when the last day of collecting the greens.
October 29th. October 29th will be the last day that yard waste is being picked up.
Thank you.
And then we'll be switching to leaf the following week, 2 weeks later. Okay, so it'll be 1 week, there'll be leaf and green pickup. And that'll be that last week of October. There'll be overlap.
Okay.
All that.
Like to make a motion to conclude the meeting?
Second. All right. Okay, go watch baseball. Red October.
Oh, I did.